This is about my father, not about my father. This is a film called About My Father, which is not about my father. It's it's a Sebastian Maniscalco movie, and he named it About My Father just so that we could all make weird YouTube jokes at the start of our videos like this. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, seems to be the reason. But anyway, About My Father stars Sebastian along with Robert De Niro. Just let that one sink in for a minute. And, as well as Leslie Bibb, Kim Cattrall, and David Rausch. And it is currently available on Starz, where guess what? It does not have audio description. I know you guys think I'm just being mean to Starz. You know, this guy with like 190 subscribers against a multi-million-dollar corporation that's been around since 1994 and seems to have absolutely no idea what audio description is or how to actually present accessibility to the blind and visually impaired community. But again, I would say, did you know that Starz launched in 1994? Think about when your streaming services launched. Think about when Apple started making film. Yeah. I would say Starz is a little late to the table, wouldn't you? Don't feel so bad for them anymore, right? I think trying to push Starz along here is not a bad thing. So anyway, About My Father is, I don't know, it can't be semi-autobiographical because Sebastian's character in this film works for a hotel, which is not what he does in real life. So this is not like Easter Sunday where Joe Coy was playing like a version of himself. Instead, this is like a romantic comedy where Sebastian is in love with Leslie Bibb. And they are living in Chicago, where Sebastian gets to live near his dad, played by De Niro. I don't know how De Niro is in this film. He must be friends with Sebastian Maniscalco. It feels... Anyway, what a capture for your film. Then he has to take a trip back to her parents' place, where we meet her parents, played by the lovely Kim Cattrall and David Rausch, who has made a career out of playing, I think, these sort of slightly pompous, entitled, upper crust people. He was great on Succession, and he's great here. I'm doing exactly what it's weird to be typecast as that, for that to be your typecasting, but he's good at it. And of course, Kim is always good at playing the high life too. She gets cast frequently in roles where she gets to be somebody who has money and fancy things, and she must enjoy that. So they go there, and it becomes like a fish out of water economically and culturally. Sebastian's family is Italian. Leslie's family is not. Sebastian's family is poor. Leslie's family, hilariously, is not. They're not even remotely. There are so many jokes in here that are about wealth. Even though they're not necessarily mean-spirited towards her parents, because this is sort of like a coming together of the families type of thing, where the couple is going to end up together whether you like it or not. This is more like Meet the Fockers, right? Where you got both parents there. It's not Meet the Parents where he just has to go impress, De Niro, and he's left alone. There's no family for him. No, he takes his dad along with him. So his dad is there to help win over her parents, who own a hotel chain that is a competitor to the one he actually works for. And there are just so many jokes here that actually I thought worked pretty funnily throughout the film. There are some jokes that are, I would call, sight gags, which are problematic for not having audio description. They love their male frontal nudity jokes. And I'll go there with that. The problem is I don't ever know if they're actually showing things or if they're hiding, obscuring things. Um, and I didn't even realize where the joke was until the joke started to be explained, until people started reacting to the joke in the film. So it would have been nice to kind of have that first laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like if I had seen this in the theater with people, I feel like other people would have laughed. If it's a laughable joke, I don't know. It may not be that funny, but people would have laughed first, and then I'd be like, "Why are we laughing? This seems like a normal scene to me." And then, as the characters start going like, "Oh my," you know, I'd be like, "Oh, oh, I get it now. Thanks, thanks." Lack of audio description. It's why those things matter, you know. In addition to the fact that it's also, like I said, it's a fish out of water story in so much that Sebastian was not raised with a silver spoon. So him and his father, who also very much was not raised with a silver spoon, are thrown into these situations where they hilariously are poor in a ridiculously, stupidly wealthy world. There's one scene where they're out at a restaurant, and obviously, David Roush and Kim Cattrall's characters have so much money that they don't even ask for the price on things. And DeNiro's like, "How do you not know what the price is of something on the menu?" And he's like, "Oh, they just put it on my tab, and I pay my tab at the end of the week." He's like, "Just order whatever you want." And DeNiro's like, "No, I want to know how much the price of the sandwich is." And he's like, we don't do that." And it's just like little things that are actually kind of funny and hilarious, like that Sebastian kind of points out about how these cultures are clashing in ways that I thought were actually clever. You know, the fact that there's a menu but no food is priced is like, how did they come up with the price? Do they, you know, is there just somebody back there just randomly coming up with prices? So they squabble over it, and I thought that was an intelligent scene. I like the little digs at how they have like this 13,000 square foot house, or 16 or whatever. They have some giant house with tons of bedrooms and stuff, and then she's like, it just feels cozy, and it's just this like massive house that they live in. And also they joke about how everything in that every piece of furniture has to have some sort of like history to it. Like it came, you know, it has some sort of storied history of being passed down from generation, and this was the table that Thomas Jefferson wrote the you know, it's like it's some of it is kind of funny that way. So I did like the movie, but the problem is that without having that opulence described to me, I only get it when it comes up in a joke. I don't get to kind of absorb it myself. When they step outside into the neighborhood and there are people who are saying like hello to DeNiro, I have no idea what the neighborhood looks like. You know, I have no idea what the neighbors look like, how far apart their houses, where are these mansions. Sort of like everything is just, if it isn't verbally spoken, then it doesn't exist. And I have a feeling that this film is shot in such a way where we're supposed to take things in, just so that we can sort of absorb the experience and then put it back out into the world. So that way we can understand where Sebastian and DeNiro's characters are coming from. And of course the conflict in this is it's not one of those weird films where dad's dying and Sebastian finds out and the film gets sad. It's not one of those. It's just dad thinks that Sebastian's trying a little too hard to fit in with these stuffy upper crust people, and perhaps he is. But Sebastian's like, you know what? But she's not like that, and I want to life with her, not with her parents. So I just, you know, I want everything to go right when I propose. So, actually, I thought it was a pretty nice movie. I I have a problem necessarily grading it because I think that the intention behind the comedy has a lot to do with us understanding uh, where Sebastian came from and where he is for the duration of this film, and the differences in terms of his current scale of income versus his future parents-in-law um, scale of income. So without that joke, and only being able to pick up on the little things that are said aloud, it does kind of feel like I'm missing something. Uh, I'm kind of on a line here where I could say, yeah, I could grade the film, but I don't know that it's the right grade. You know what I'm saying? This film may be funnier than I give it credit for. This film may not be as funny as I give it credit for. So it's kind of hard to tell when there isn't audio description to connect these jokes together, to connect these things together, these scenes when we suddenly are maybe on a boat, and then we're hearing the story about the boat. So I wish, and then I don't know how big the boat is and what the boat looks like and all that kind of stuff. So there's just a lot of questions that I have about the film, and that's why I wish that everything just came with audio description. This is very borderline for me in terms of, could you watch it and understand it? Yeah, actually, you probably could. It's really not that deep of a film, and most of the jokes are explained to you. But there are some sight gags, and the film is based around opulence. And a lot of that is going to be visual. A lot of that is going to be, what does this house look like? What do the paintings on the wall look like? They talk about how they have a Grandma Moses. And it's a joke because DeNiro doesn't know who that is. It's just those sort of clashes back and forth, and we only get what is thrown in dialogue. We don't get the setup of any joke in the scene. We don't get anything that is shown to us, and then slowly the joke builds out of it. Like I said, the male nudity joke is kind of that way. So I don't know. I don't feel like it's fair to grade this film, but because I don't know that it would be a representative grade of the film. I liked it. I'll say that, but I do wish it had audio description. And I think one of the reasons why I always talk about these films and why they need to have audio description, another side effect is always that frequently we don't all live in some sort of blind commune where we all just live and exist just in Blindville. We exist with other sighted people who, when we watch these types of films that don't have audio description, our friends and families' ability to enjoy the movie is interrupted as they feel like they have to then take over the job of audio description. So the whole experience is then sort of neutralized. So it's not even as fun for the people who end up watching a film with us, or a TV show. So this kind of stuff is important. It feels silly and it feels stupid that I'm on here while everything else is going on in the world complaining about lack of accessibility, but the accessibility exists. It's just people aren't using it. So use it, This film got a theatrical release, which strongly suggests to me that there's an existing audio description track for the film, because most films that are released theatrically nowadays end up with an audio description track. So I'm pretty certain that there is one. It's just that Starz refuses to create a system in which it supports on their streaming platform any sort of audio description. So until such time, I'm stuck watching films like this and feeling like, do I grade it? Do I not grade it? What do I do? So, and for About My Father, like I said, I feel like there's a lot of it that was lost in translation, and I don't want to give it a grade that I would then change should I then watch it again with audio description. So instead of unfairly grading a film, I'll just tell you I liked it. You may be able to get through it, but I'm going to go with unwatchable for this. I'm not going to grade the film. So it's not because I'm wimping out. It's to drive home the point of there were things that I'm still missing, even in a comedy like this, because of how the comedy is set up and what the comedy wants me to take away from it. So anyway, thank you for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, please click subscribe, because I would love to talk to more people about audio description and to have companies like Starz actually pay attention to me. I know they're not listening to a 190 subscriber channel, but add a couple zeros, you know? Who knows? Who knows what I could accomplish? So, in the meantime, you can visit my website, macmovieguyy.com. You can go to X, Threads, or Instagram and follow me at MacMovieGuy. You can go to the Audio Description Project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what is audio description and where you can watch it. And you can go to the ADNA.org. That's the ADNA.org, where you can look up, when a film does have narration, you can look it up and see who's doing the narration. So, anyway, that's it for me today. I will do something else and watch my film and see you guys on the other side. So.